Amali, where's the supplies from the trip?
I took care of it.
Oh my gosh, you killed the thing?
No, I didn't kill the thing. I just took care of it, okay? It's kind of warm out already. Almost like in the 70s.
Like the year?
Are we sure that it's Mest who's the one who's not mentally cognitive right now?
Did Mr. Mest die?
Yep, taking out the trash.
That's not funny, Mr. Smoot.
He's just tuckered out from being a paranoid schizophrenic. You stay in there, and I'll stay out here. I'm gonna get a barrel, and we're gonna be fine. However, if you approach me, we will not be fine.
It has these tiny little blue eyes staring at you blankly.
Your cuteness will not save you from my fury.
I'm just a little shy. You know a whole lot about this caravan. You wouldn't happen to be the ringleader here?
Of course. After all, this goes Popey's caravan, and I am Madam Popeye.
Ah,
See you put two and two together, finally. So welcome back to Season 1, Episode 19 of the Gate Chronicles. As I said, I am the game master of this, and my schmucks around the table shall introduce themselves. Nye.
The right-hand schmuck of the group, I am Quentin. I am sitting to the right-hand side of the GM. Hi, Sto. I play Charles Smoot, 57-year-old biology teacher, born and raised in upstate New York.
Well, if he's the right-hand schmuck, I guess that makes me like the left foot. I'm like the right shoulder. Not as important as the hand, but still there.
On the dominant side, no less.
I'm Zach. I'll be playing Alfred Kenneth Mest. And, oh boy, am I exhausted after last episode. We're gonna find out what happens in town this week. I probably won't be there. I'll probably be taking a nap.
hello. My name is Jaden Amaggio, and I'll be playing Finavir Avir, aspiring bard and self-proclaimed rising star of Teva. Looking to see where we go, make some plans, get a move on, maybe travel with Madam Popeye and crew. We'll see.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I play Alan Taylor, the resident Ohioan who totally knows what's going on and isn't confused by the goings-on at all whatsoever. Totally, right?
Rest seemed inevitable for everyone but Mest. His paranoid state led him to the whole watcher in the night business. Unfortunately for him, a lack of sleep only aided in his mental degradation. As he finally got some shut-eye, the remaining group took some time to gather materials, while Finn tried to secure some passage on the caravan. But the only problem is the coin that they lack. But everyone is back at the house. Now, all of you have finally taken some time. You have officially regrouped. Although Mest is still a little drowsy, you all have some time to deliberate. So, you are all back at the Hill House inside, taking some time to deliberate as Finavir shares some of the news that he's gathered from Madam Popeye.
All right. I have a proposal. Got everyone together? Mest.
Yeah, if he can stay awake, I'm pretty sure we're all here.
What's going on?
Try to pay attention if you can. We're coming to a group decision. I talked to Madam Popeye, the caretaker for the caravan, and it seems that we can make arrangements to travel with them north to New Urn and then Lamb's Respite. If you remember, that's one of the seeker bases that we're trying to take a stop by. One with a library. Smoot? I'd like nudge him with my shoulder.
Getting some information and figuring out what happened would probably be pretty nice.
I thought we were going to go after, who was that fellow? The Far Traveler.
I thought so too, but apparently it's too dangerous and we need an escort.
Well, considering we had to run from our last mission with our tails between our legs.
But we succeeded.
We survived.
Which is success.
I believe the expression is, but we lived.
But we lived.
We did live. I am very happy about that.
And we have Chomper.
Please tell me you're not calling it that. First off, can we just say we're not calling it anything?
If it is to be called anything, its name shall be Spare Rations.
All right, nope. nope. We're taking you outside and we're gonna have a conversation again. Not even again. At this point, it's about, yeah, no, it's the first time. Never mind. Beside the point. We're not calling it spare rations.
I think he corrects you in his sleep.
I don't talk in my sleep. What?
Actually, he does. A lot. Something about...
Apparently, Finnevere's a night walker.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, don't you remember we had that whole conversation?
You do. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was this one time you were standing over my bed in the middle of the night, and you were staring at me, and I told you to lay back down. You didn't respond.
Huh.
I've never been more uncomfortable in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good sign. I've been very uncomfortable before.
Where does everyone want to go? I'm fine if we want to end up going to Lamb's Respite. Any seeker base is better than no seeker base at this point. At least they have some collection of knowledge, and it'll get us a foothold and somewhere to start.
I want to go to the library.
Why do you want to go to the library?
Wait, you can read?
Maybe not your books.
Maybe not their books, but the older books we probably could get away
Wait,
with.
so you can't read, is what
Not-
I'm hearing.
Not your language.
Do you read picture books?
We could definitely do that
I mean,
much.
I could infer.
Ooh,
I read 2 languages. I can read Spanish.
Spanish.
I don't think
It's
it's
an
going to
old language.
How old are you?
I'm around about 10,057 years.
Speaking of language, I've been meaning to ask this. Amali, what language do you speak?
Common?
What is common?
The language we're speaking.
Yeah, but okay, but how do we, write and read it?
That's entirely different than speaking.
Oh, I mean, sure.
Well, I mean, it's still language.
That's nice to hear because the language we're all speaking, as far as I'm concerned, is called English.
It originated out of a place called England.
Amazing.
All right, Professor Allen, please have a seat. We don't need your assistance anymore.
I don't know that really qualifies calling me a professor. It's kind of like first grade. Do either of you know what an alphabet is?
I know what the alphabet is.
Okay, can you write the alphabet for me and
I will write you the alphabet.
Pretty sure we're getting a little bit off topic here. Weren't we trying to plan where we were going?
yeah, but
It
books.
seems like
Yeah, but we can figure out what books are traveling there.
Are there any points of interest for you, Amalia, between here and Lamb's Respite?
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be heading up that way anyway, because we're heading into the harvesting season.
Okay, so here are my questions. If we go to Lamb's Respite, who's all going? Because we're going to a seeker base. David, do you really care to have to go out on some grand quest line adventure to become a full-fledged seeker?
Hold on a second. Are you trying to tell me that you want to leave me behind again?
No, I'm
Mr.
asking.
Smoot, you don't like me.
That is not at all what I said.
I like you, David, and I'll go and give him, I'll reach my arm around for, bring him in for a half hug.
I love how effective you are while we are gone.
Oh, it's okay. But, you still don't want me to come with you?
You're free to come with us. I didn't. I wanted to make sure if you had any interest in coming with us.
Well, what about Alan? Why would Alan go with you then?
I mean, he likes going in the forest. All I'm saying, listen, if we go up to a seeker base, more than likely, from what I understand, we're going to have to take an initiation trial, which means we're going to have to go on some large quest line, probably under the guidance of some full-fledged seeker, and then we're going to have to complete this mission, which may entail us going out to the forest and probably killing something.
But what if it doesn't?
If it
He's
doesn't,
right.
then great.
It could be diplomacy.
And on a side note, I love your imagination, Smoot.
It could, who knows? It could be just a courier thing. It could be a bodyguard quest. Who knows?
It really just depends on who you get being in charge of your initiation.
Couldn't we request you? You're a full-fledged seeker, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe. He looks
I
really
feel like
hesitant.
Amali doesn't want to be responsible for us.
I mean, he's been thus far.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to continue being responsible for us.
Oh, that breaks my heart. You trying to kick us out already?
Amali, you cannot kick them out. They're family.
That's right.
Smoot walks up and puts his arm around Cece.
I'm still mad at you, though.
It's okay.
You're planning on leaving.
I'm not. No.
Yep.
I was actually going to suggest, with everything that's going on, that we probably shouldn't leave you here if we go.
She looks really excited. She covers her face with her mouth, she covers her mouth with her hands.
Covers her face with her
I first scan Amali's face to understand his reaction, and I then give Smoot the look of, you should have talked to us about before.
I am.
You can roll sense motive for that.
Can I roll sense motive on Molly?
Sure.
Because I know that he's the person who would have an issue with this.
22 for Finavir.
You too, bud? 22 for Smoot.
Wow.
Okay. You can see that Amali's face appears to be
relatively neutral. His brow is a little furrowed, and he's leaning up against the wall with his arms crossed as if he's thinking. But he doesn't seem to react negatively to what you said.
Yeah, that was the major takeaway for me.
All I'm saying is that with everything going on with the Red Guard and us being gone for extended periods of time, Topty not being in town, if all of us are leaving, I wouldn't want to leave Cece behind. And I mean, hey, as she frequently likes to point out, she is a full-grown woman.
Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh.
And realistically, where could be safer than with all of us there to protect her?
Amali stands up from where he's leaning against the wall, standing up straight, and walks over.
I mean, it's closer to the truth than not. I don't know if her being with everyone of you makes her safer.
I mean, okay, with
It's
you.
better than not, though.
I mean, at the very least, she's got meat shields.
Amali looks at you and smiles.
Is that like bee herding?
No. No, it means...
when
you're-
you go into a herd of people, if a bee is going to sting one person, or if a bee can only sting one person, and you're in a group of 10, the odds of you getting stung drop dramatically.
Oh, then yeah, it's exactly like that.
Oh, wait, no. What about Grace and Spice?
Can't we just... I'm assuming those are the goats.
The goat and the sheep, yes.
Can't we just leave them with Jakob?
Their family, how could you do that
Okay,
to
are we
them?
going to take them with us?
Why not?
Wouldn't that slow us down?
I don't exactly think the sheep is capable of violence great enough to save it from anything.
I don't like the look on Amali's face. I feel like he has something to say.
Amali pauses for a long time. His mouth is somewhat agape, as if he's trying to figure out what to say. Yeah, he keeps opening and closing his mouth as if he's trying to figure out the words, and he's facing Cece.
And why not stop there? Let's get a proper wagon and more cattle.
Sheep are not wagon cattle.
You can shear them for wool.
They're not beasts of burden. They're
Ah.
livestock and wool sources in terms of usefulness aside from being a pet family.
Well, that's what we have you for, right?
I will eat you.
Oh, Americans are cannibals now.
No, cannibalism is not acceptable in America. That is explicitly just Taylor.
I believe that's frowned upon in almost every culture.
Amalia, is there something you want to say? You've been umming and ahhing over there for like the past 2 minutes.
You know what? Nah, everything is... We're not...
No. I feel like you have something you need to get off your chest.
It's a disingenuous threat, you numbskull.
Cece, unfortunately, it's so... It may and or may not have come down to the fact that, Grace and Spice don't belong to you anymore.
Her jaw just drops.
What? What does that mean?
They're under the care of Jakob from now on.
You. How could you?
And she just walks out of the house.
What, did you lose her goats in a card game, Amali?
No, you lost him in a custody battle.
No, I just talked to Jakob about it, and he owns the goat and the sheep now.
And you were provided compensation?
Yes.
So you sold the girl's sheep without even telling her.
I was already
Smooth.
planning on this in the first place.
Which would hurt more? Knowing that your dear animal companion is being cared for by another, or that it gets mauled by a monster while you're out?
I mean, at least let her make the decision to sell them to Jakob.
I think that was probably the best choice. I don't think we should take the goat and the sheep with us.
I
think they
agree.
get eaten by
like,
Alan.
I was just about to say that.
I second that motion.
Oh, I read your mind.
I will neither confirm nor deny the veracity of that assumption.
No, that's a fair point. Now that she brings it up, Alan would probably eat anything we brought with us.
I wouldn't slaughter it, but I would eat it if it were slaughtered.
Clearly you don't mind eating people, so I don't think you'd have a problem eating pets.
Okay,
You
that-
wanted to call our Toda trail rations.
That one I hate. I will dispose of that creature the minute it becomes convenient.
All right.
You will not.
Moving forward, the arrangement from Madame Popeye is as such. It is 10 silver per person to travel with them. However, if any of us are provided to be useful to the caravan, provide a mutual relationship of sorts, their fee will be waived in its entirety. Taylor, you mentioned growing up on a farm. Are you familiar with husbandry? And no, that doesn't have anything to do with marriage.
He had to explain that to me a few times.
A little.
A little. Do you know how to feed animals and know when they're thirsty?
I mean, the husbandry is more the breeding process. Yes, I can tend to animals.
Okay.
Breeding is where I don't specialize in making animal love.
If there was a young calf, could you take care of it?
Yeah, if we have what we need.
All right.
If it helps, I grew up on a horse ranch.
Really? Mest, are you doing all right?
I'm just, you know.
Would you like some coffee?
You know what?
Hand him a cup.
Sure.
All right. Okay. So do you drink the coffee?
Yes.
All right. I need you to make a fortitude save.
I have to make fortitude saves to drink coffee.
Yes.
Apparently.
Fair enough.
Secretly, Finevir's just trying to get everyone addicted to coffee.
If you spill my coffee, sir.
It's a fortitude save, not like a reflex. I wouldn't think I'm spilling the coffee here.
We will see. You don't know that.
I'm sorry if I'm making a fortitude save to not spill coffee.
What was the roll total?
Total is 4.
I'm assuming you crit failed? Because of the crit fail, continue with your life. The coffee tastes pretty
Great.
good. It's really good, actually. It's probably the best coffee you've ever had.
You can't wait to get more.
Yeah, you really can't wait to get another cup.
I mixed in a drop of honey, if that helps any. It's good for the throat after a long night.
It's okay, Zach. You'll be fine.
All right. Kelsey,
Yes?
can you think of anything that you might be able to provide to the caravan? If not, it's okay.
Can I
Well-
sense motive? Because your face looks so depressed.
Sure. She seems to frown a little bit. She's thinking, but she also looks a little embarrassed.
24.
You seem to be able to tell the weather pretty well. That might be useful.
With a 24, you look at her and you definitely see that furrowed brow expression and also just embarrassment on her face, like as if she really can't think of anything that she could do that she would consider useful.
How about this, Finavir? If anyone can think of something they're good at, they can step forward. Edgewise, we can just pay the fare. It's not that big of a deal. 10 silver isn't really that much.
Well, also, I mean, there's no guarantee that they'd want whatever skills we're offering.
It's very true. So it's
True. It's on us to sell those skills.
I mean, reading books, most of the time, wouldn't a caravan want people to protect it?
We could offer to be the muscle, the guards.
Just carry a big old meat stick.
I don't know if any of us can lift Taylor. He's kind of hefty.
I'll stab them brigands good.
I suppose we could. I scan Amalia's face again.
Finavir, why do you keep looking at me?
I just appreciate your input. I just don't always feel comfortable for asking for it.
Ben, did you pee on the carpet? You look like a guilty puppy.
How crass.
Uh,
All right.
I think you're fine offering whatever services you can. I definitely think you're being a cheap miser.
I definitely agree with that.
Where's the profit in it?
I mean, you're right. We could probably just tail the caravan and not pay anything and just follow whatever trail they're taking.
I suppose we could. All right.
The door slams open from outside.
All right,
Cece walks inside.
I've accepted these terms. I'm still not happy about them, but I can live with it. What about the baby in the shed?
Oh, wow, Molly. I can't believe you didn't get around to selling him too yet.
I mean, that one's kind of contraband.
I hear there's a caravan who likes rare goods leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, rare goods,
Isn't
not
it leaving-
illicit goods.
Isn't it leaving tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
Today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if it's leaving today, then we should probably just, get out of here and stop talking about what we can do and maybe do some stuff.
I have to pack still.
Or even pack, woman.
Fine.
I need to get something. If anyone needs me, I'm gonna be at Jakob's.
And I head out the door.
Amali just leers at you as you walk out the door.
I head out the door.
He's gonna buy a sheep, isn't he?
I grab my backpack and I just follow him without saying anything.
Wait, you're following me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right, so Finavir and Smoot leave the house. What do the rest of you do?
I'm gonna go to the blacksmith.
Okay, how about this? We will come back to Mest in a bit. We can figure out what your character's doing in the meantime. Smoot, Finavir, and Alan, who's tailing behind them, but not really trying to keep up, just making his own pace down the path. Smoot and Finavir, you have made your way to Jakob's. You see outside of the barn building the Quinthians, which are in a pen nearby that seem to be kind of romping around and playing a little bit. Over on the left side of the building in a pen all of its own, you see a young elk with blue markings on its body standing there, just munching on some feed. And in another pen nearby, you see a very large lizard with frills that it keeps flaring out and hissing.
Smoot is actively looking for where Jakob is keeping the goats.
You do not see them outside.
I don't see him out. He's keeping them inside.
There's a barn.
Smoot would turn over to Finnebeer. Oh, I didn't expect anyone to actually follow me. Is there something you wanted to hear too?
Well, you went out with such interest. I wanted to know what you are so interested in.
Well, I mean, you have been so gracious and been able to help us out quite a bit. I figured I could do my part. Like I mentioned, I was actually raised on a horse ranch, so I have a little bit of experience with steeds and riding. And there was a really good deal here. And Smoot walks inside, and he looks for Jakob. Jakob!
So you enter into the barn where you actually see that Jakob is in the back, and he appears to be shoeing another Equinthian in the back stall.
Jakob, if you have a moment, looks like you're kind of busy.
Give me 1 second.
He finishes up what he's doing. He comes out from the pen, and he closes the stall door behind him.
So, what can I do you for?
Well, it depends. Last time I checked, there was an offer on the table, but it looks like you still haven't sold it. So, is the asking price still the same for the young elk?
Yeah. Are you asking me what the price is again? Are you not sure what it is?
No, I totally remember.
You totally remember.
I definitely remember.
That's a very strange wording of language.
I most certainly remember. Snake belt, or the snake belt, went. Blacksmith was before that.
You sell saddlebags here as well.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Ones with the cask attachments. Something where you could carry a liquid on a creature, such as an elk.
Not that kind.
It would just be like a small barrel with leather straps over the sides.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm a little bit up there in years, and my memory isn't what it used to be. I do not remember how much you were asking for that elk.
So, what you're saying is, you need me to tell you the price of the elk.
Oh, that would be great. Last time I checked, I thought it was like 50 silver. But
So the thing that I offered to do a second ago.
Yeah. If you could just do that, that would be great.
You just pulled out a journal to read it, to find out how much the price was when you could have just asked me.
I mean, I did do that, but it looked like you were having a very engaging conversation with Finnebeer, so I didn't want to interrupt you.
But I had, you know what? Never mind. It's 50 silver for the elk.
Oh, so I was right.
I guess.
I wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting upcharged.
Roll a perception.
And there's the American.
I feel like that would apply to Finnebeer as well. Wanting to make sure he wasn't getting upcharged.
Yes, but saying it out loud is the American part.
Smoot got a 10 on his perception.
Okay. You can see that he is frowning now, and he doesn't look very pleased.
Can I use diplomacy to try to improve our standing with him?
You may try.
A total of 20.
All right. What do you say?
Do I have to say something?
Generally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what you roll diplomacy, but if you don't say anything, you don't say anything.
Sorry for his crassness. He finds it a little bit difficult in the morning. I'm sure we all do. I'll break off small pieces of chocolate and hand them to both and say, hey, this usually soothes the mind.
So you offer him the chocolate. He looks at it somewhat questionably.
All right. That's fine.
He takes it.
It's more of a gesture of, yeah, we're all tired here in the morning. We're all trying to get our gears rolling.
You can see when he takes it, you can see that his hands are filthy and like they're probably covered in some things that are unspeakables, the unmentionable stuff.
Poopy stuff?
Then I would hand it to him in a rag piece or cloth piece.
Okay, so you hand it to him in a rag piece, and your cloth is dirty now, and he's holding in his other hand the hammer, the mallet that he used to hammer down the shoe. That's the word.
That's the word.
So, are you gonna buy it, or are we just gonna stand?
Yeah, no, I was planning on buying it, a bridle for it, some reins. I figured there would be no point in buying a saddle for it. It probably isn't large enough. It would need to get fitted for one later, unless you have one that's adjustable.
No.
Okay, so yeah, I'll hold on the saddle, but definitely a bit and bridle for it, a little bit of feed.
All right, it's 2 silver pieces for the bit and the bridle, 50 silver for the elk. Do you want a harness? Or do you want a training harness?
Preferably a training harness. You said this thing's young and impressionable. It probably needs to still be reared.
Let me see what I have in the back.
Did I succeed on my check?
You can make a sense motive.
20.
He seems like he's the same as he was. It doesn't seem like before he really was in any negative light. Like, he's about the same.
Okay.
The training harness is 10 silver. And then How many? The feed is per day. How many bags per day, basically, would you like? Because it's 5 copper per bag, which lasts a day.
So,
And in addition, that weighs 10 pounds.
so we're going to be on the road part of the time when we have this thing. So what exactly do they eat? I assume they can just graze on grass like any other creature.
They can graze, and they also do feed in stables when you don't have access to any of the fields.
All right, I'll take 2 bags of feed too, just in case.
Okay, that's 5 copper per bag, so that's 20 pounds. The bit and bridle is 1 pound. Did you want saddlebags?
Yeah, might as well.
4 silver, 8 pounds. Training harness is 10 pounds. The elk, unweighable by your standards of weighing yourself, and you can't carry it.
I definitely can't carry it.
You can't carry it.
From what I calculated, it would be roughly 400 pounds.
Molly could carry that.
With ease, with the greatest of ease.
I'll go out there, I'll put on the harness for you and get you situated. Do you know how to take care of this thing? Is this your first time owning an elk?
An elk, yes. I've owned a horse previously.
Where are you from?
Far, far away. It's a very long explanation.
He nods, just like that very slow southern nod of understanding. I imagine Alan Taylor does the same nod.
It's part of having a southern drawl.
All right, so he gets your elk all situated and gives you a little bit of instruction on it, on what to expect. He says that it is 6 months old, and it'll take at least 8 months for it to grow into more of its rideable size. All right, so over to Alan Taylor at the blacksmith. I do not remember what this lady sounded like, by the way.
She was also kind of southern.
Oh gosh, they're all southern. Whenever Alan Taylor goes somewhere, they're southern.
Well, yeah, we're still in Virginia.
True.
I mean,
I'm waiting for you.
oh,
So you go up to the blacksmith's shop and you enter inside. You do not see anyone in the front, but you do hear somebody hammering in the back.
excuse me, ma'am.
Give me a second.
Take your time.
I hope this is what she sounds like, because it's what she's going to be now. So, all right. So she comes out front with her hammer tucked inside of her front pouch. She is wearing very dirty leather gloves, which she takes off and places on the counter. How can I help you?
Well, I was wondering, I got this spear from you.
Yeah, I recognize
Give or
you.
take about maybe a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
A little over.
Uh-huh.
And took it out.
Uh-huh.
Went on a trek.
Uh-huh.
Got into a scuffle.
All right.
And in the first scuffle, the spearhead chipped.
Oh, I see. So, what'd you hit it with?
There was a vine monster. I stabbed the fleshy heart of it.
Ah, I see. So, let's see. So you stab a fleshy bit of it, and wow, this accent's gone wild. So you stab the fleshy bit of it, you're at this point, huh?
Yeah, I'm wondering if either A, if I could get it repaired, or B, if I could just buy another spearhead off you and fix it to the spear shaft.
I don't typically keep spearheads separate from their parts, but I can definitely fix it for you.
That would be fantastic, ma'am.
That'll be 5 copper.
I only have silver pieces, so I hope you can make change.
That's fine. She takes your silver and she gives you 5 copper in return.
Neat.
She takes her spear to the back room and she pokes her head back out. It'll be a little while. Gotta wait for the metal to heat up, and then I'll be hammering it out. You should be real careful, though. All weapons only have such a long life. Do you have a whetstone?
Someone in our group does. I would like to see if I could get some metalworking oil off you, just to maintain them. It's good to oil your weapons.
She looks at you and you're the one that brought her to me.
But, well, can I get some? How much you charging?
I haven't extracted it yet. I've been kind of busy.
Do you not have any oil on hand beforehand?
Do you know how rare that stuff is? It'll take me some time, but I can get it out to you in a day or so.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry about that. Sometimes business picks up, especially when the caravan's in town.
Yeah, it's fine.
After a little while, she comes back out and she hands you your spear, which appears to have been repaired.
Thank you kindly.
Mhm.
I best be on my way then. You have a wonderful evening.
She shouts after you as you go out. That probably only has about 20 hits in it before you need to really repair it.
Noted.
So all weapons do have a health pool, by the way, that I've been keeping track of, FYI. So every hit you take to your weapon, the closer it gets to being broken. I'm evil. But yes, I can't remember what everyone else's is right now, so I'll have to give you the numbers. But your weapon has about 20 hits in it on a standard before it has to be repaired, unless like a critical miss or something like that happens where your weapon does get damaged.
Repaired or maintained?
Repaired. So it will obtain broken condition if it goes to 20 hits and has not been repaired. Maintaining a weapon with a whetstone will return the weapon 1 point of health. You can really only sharpen your weapon once per day on a whetstone before it becomes excessive, and then your weapon just becomes too thin. Whetstone also provides the bonus of a +1 to attack, I believe.
Yep, it does.
So it gives you that. That's why you can only use it once per day, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it has a stipulation actually, but
It does. It is only for the first hit.
voila. Do you guys all return to the Hill House, or what do you do? Really quick.
Yeah, once I got the oath, I would have no reason not to.
I might make a quick trip to the general store just to see if they do have thick gloves. If not, it's fine. It's fine.
Give me 1 second. I believe I have a store.
It's just useful to have.
They do happen to have a pair of gloves at the general store, but they only have one.
Okay. Does it look like I'm going to be hurting this village if I buy them? This is part of my core tenets. I have to believe I'm not hurting a business.
It looks like it's the only pair that they have in stock at this time. That's all you can tell.
Okay. Well,
That technically wouldn't hurt a business. You're still purchasing from them, so they're still benefiting off of it. It's just now they have to go get stock versus they
considering
have
they don't have a large stock, I think it's fine. If a place had 20 gloves, it's against my tenets to buy all 20. Because in order to have a thriving business, you should be surrounded by other thriving businesses.
Yeah.
And hurting them is not beneficial to yourself, even if they're a competitor. Anyway, so I will buy them at the asking price.
Okay. Yeah, no, they'd just be standard leather gloves. See if you can find that.
That's exactly what I want.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So we are back up at the Hill House really quick just to check in with Mest, see what he was up to during that time. And otherwise, everyone will come back.
So after those three left, would Amali have gone anywhere, or
He probably went outside.
what about Kelsey and David?
Kelsey and David went into the kitchen, and it looks like David is teaching a new card game, which Cece is trying to participate in, but not understanding the rules, and so she's playing Go Fish instead of Rummy.
Oh no, I got really worried.
Classic.
The last time he suggested a game, it was strip poker.
Alfred would have gotten up. I'm assuming I could get around town without any drawbacks at this point because of the coffee.
You are still slightly drowsy, so you are at the negatives for that, which I believe is at a -2, but the fatigue is gone.
I wanted to head into town towards the caravan.
Okay.
So I would probably try to head out the door and head in towards town, towards where the caravan was.
Okay, what are you looking for?
I'm particularly looking to see if they have any potion makers or anything like that.
As you get towards the caravan, you see that they have pretty much packed up shop, and it looks like they're like just putting things and loading up the carts. It doesn't look like anything's open right now.
Well, I'm not looking for the shop itself to be open. I'm just seeing if they do have someone who provides.
You can't really tell because of how everything is just being put away. Everything looks like it's organized disorder.
I would probably walk up to one of them and ask them. I would try to find someone and ask them a question.
Okay. All right. You see a woman walking around who appears to be carrying several pretty hefty bags that she is walking over to one of the wagons.
I would probably wait till she puts them down or
Okay.
stores them or something.
All right, so she takes some time to do this. She is just appearing to be very busy as she's putting things away, running to and fro. She does run past you at this point, and the bags aren't in her arms anymore, but she does appear to be trying to get somewhere.
Ma'am, real quick.
Yes?
You're part of the caravan, correct?
Yeah, help out.
About what time tonight was the caravan looking to leave?
We head out just before evening.
Just before evening? All right, then.
What time is it right now?
Oh gosh. I'm trying to think because you guys did some stuff.
Where's the sun?
The sun is in the sky. It's above.
Wow.
There we go. That's your answer. It's above.
So we'd be looking somewhere around maybe early afternoon or something.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do I think I have time to brew a potion before they leave?
Why don't you roll a wisdom for me on that?
21.
Your character is not proficient enough with telling with actual survival of telling time for the most part in this regard, but he doesn't really know if it'd be a good idea to start brewing a potion right now. You feel a little iffy on that.
Okay.
You can't really tell exactly what time it is, but the sun's up pretty high, and if it is in summer, you're thinking, I don't have too much time.
All right. I'll just head back to the house then.
Everyone does meet back up at the hill house. Smoot and Finavir are now followed behind by an elk, Alan actually arriving just after them. You see this medium-sized creature with blue glowing patterns approaching towards the house. And Smoot, who it seems to be leading it.
Smoot?
Yeah?
What's with the magic moose?
Well, listen. Cerulean here, he is an elk.
Elk and moose are basically the same thing. I think
Oh,
it's different in
very
size.
different.
You see Amali walking out front of the house, walking around the side of the house carrying some sort of small container. He stops and he looks at you.
What is that?
What do you mean?
The magic moose.
It's not a moose.
It is an elk. Thank you very much.
No.
Same thing.
No. What I mean is, what is that doing here?
Oh, it's coming with us.
Smoot, do you know what I just had to do to get rid of the goats? Or the goat and the sheep?
And did you see how sad Cece looked?
He doesn't say anything else and continues to walk away.
Can it pull a wagon?
Probably. It is a little young. It still has some growing to do. This one's only 6 months old.
So that we can put some equipment in it.
Absolutely.
Or it could carry a person.
It could probably carry a decent amount. At least as much as one of either me or Alan.
How big is this thing?
It's a medium-sized creature.
Not as much as Alan, but as much as me.
Smoot leads the elk up to the house, and what do you do? Where do you tie it off, or do you just bring it inside? You're an animal.
Does it fit?
It's 5 feet tall. It could fit through the door.
Yeah, I bring it into the house. I'm on my left. What are the consequences? What is it going to do? Poop on the floor?
Cece stands up from the table and slams her hands down.
What is that?
This is Cerulean.
That is a stupid name.
Well,
I
what
love it.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate the hard work.
Smoot, would you mind putting the animal in the pen?
He can stay inside. It's fine. Don't worry. We're going to be leaving anyway.
Yeah,
so...
this is Cece's house.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Actually,
Is that thing
no.
house trained?
Not yet.
You're cleaning up after it.
It poops on the floor, little pellets.
It's okay. We'll make Molly clean it up.
We'll make a Molly clean it up.
Smoot, if you don't clean that up in the next 2 minutes, I will rub your nose in it.
I don't think
Bite.
that's very nice. Making a Molly clean it up or rubbing somebody's face in it. Perhaps, Mr. Smoot, you should just clean it up.
That was the plan. Don't worry.
I have some respect for you, at least.
Oh, that means a lot.
Smoot would clean it up and take it out.
Okay. So,
I went just a little thing, a side note. I go up to Kelsey. We went down to Jakob's, and it took a whole 2 minutes before he said something offensive. I was very impressed.
oh, wow, Mr. Smoot, I think we should have a party to celebrate.
What for? Oh, you're right. We have a new member of the family.
We have a new member of the family.
And Cece throws her hands up in the air.
We have a family member.
Oh, speaking of which, what are we going to do with the more scaly family member?
We're keeping him, obviously.
Oh, and who's going to transport him?
Molly walks in as she says that.
We're not keeping the scaly thing.
There was a reason why we attained such a thing. Are we going to use it?
Do we need to use it? The reason has passed.
Just
All right.
points at Cece.
Points at Cece.
Cece points at herself.
I don't know what we're pointing for, but yeah, this
What
is
if
great.
we,
I love the attention.
We have 2 people who were bitten by Toda. There are lasting effects that could set in if they're not treated well, according to Marnie. Now, maybe she was mistaken with the severity due to what she has heard, and maybe it was exaggerated rumors.
Who, Marnie?
Yes.
She's a kook.
Why would you say such a thing?
You can sense motive that.
I sense motive that.
Well, whether she believes it or not, I mean, it's just 12.
18.
You don't know if Cece's being serious or not, Finavir or Smoot. You can't tell if she's being serious. She has a smile on her face, and it's possibly something she absolutely believes.
Well, my whole sensing is that would she know or not? She is a woman, but there are many uneducated adults. All right.
Well, so, the plan. All right, I have my bag packed. Wow, words. They failed me.
And I only have one change of clothes.
Ew, That
mean-
does explain a lot. I thought it was the elk. Maybe it is you that smells.
I mean, as long as you can find a river or a bed of water, you only really need one.
Wait a second. We spent all that money on this book, and we didn't get you clothes?
Priorities.
You'll have time to shop
While
literally
we're-
anytime we stop
Yeah,
somewhere.
if we're with the caravan, we can literally buy things during the entire journey.
My plan. First off, again, I do not think it would be wise for us to just leave the Toda here.
I agree.
think that would just cause problems for the village.
I agree. If that thing gets out, it's going to wreak havoc.
Wreck, havoc,
Yeah, havoc. We'll be wrecked everywhere.
wrecking havoc.
This house, it is full of ranzackery.
Thankfully not.
We could turn it into the Red Guard.
We could sell it to Popeye.
I think it's a bad idea to sell it to the Red Guard or turn it into them. If
Okay.
somehow we have contraband, who knows how
He puts like this face on of just pure and utter sarcasm.
how understanding they'll be that we somehow came across a baby Toda in the village. Knowing how protective the parents are,
Yeah, bad parents just letting it wander around wherever it wants.
Well, we don't exactly have much time to drop it back off with its mama if we're gonna go with the caravan. They'll probably be leaving soon.
We could let it loose near the Red Guard camp.
that is an option, but do you know how far the camp is from here?
I don't know.
It's 3 days.
So we might as well just take it back to where it's from if we're going to do that.
Well, how you said it was docile? How docile do you think it is? Could it travel until we find a good spot to leave it?
It might become a local menace.
We might be better off with what Smoot said, is selling it to Popeye.
I
Or we
like
have to
this idea.
Or we have to take it with us, and then we have to care for it, which is then just more of a burden.
Yeah, it's gonna be almost impossible to hide that thing on the caravan.
And I doubt they'll take kindly to it coming along with us.
Hey, David,
What is it you need, my man?
Does Madam
if you
Pop...
can upscale a paperclip into a house, what can you do with a rare exotic creature?
That is illegal, but I can do that.
I was about to say, is really illegality where your morality stops?
Legal is only relevant into the area that makes the law.
Legal is subjective. I like the way you think.
I mean, we aren't in Kansas anymore.
For
so-
travelers, it literally is.
All right, so first off, if this thing is really not supposed to be seen by the Red Guard, should we be transporting it in the daytime? How are we going to get it to her?
We could disguise it. I pull out paintbrushes.
That is a terrible idea. Why can we not just bring her to it?
Or as a dog. I like it. We paint it like a dog. We give it like fur and we make it really cute. Oh, we could make ears.
That is not happening.
We could
Or-
close the barrel and roll the barrel to her.
We are not rolling it. It would get motion sick. We could just put it in the barrel and carry it. Or bring her here.
These are all options we have.
Some of them are better than others, though.
We could just take it out of the town, out of the village, and then just meet the caravan.
Do you know which direction they're walking in?
We find out where they're going, and when we meet up with them, we meet up with them outside of town. Instead of meeting up in town and then leaving from there, we meet them outside of town in
That's
the first
perfect.
place.
That's
If we
perfectly
keep
fine.
it wrapped up, what's the worst that could happen?
I don't think it's a good idea if we try to meet the caravan outside of town. Maybe they might think that we're enemies trying to rob them.
We talk to them beforehand. We
But
meet
if-
them like right outside town, like at the gate.
For
But-
future reference, we talk to them is me talk to them. We don't need any Americanese getting in the middle of our...
And what's that supposed to mean?
I think you know darn well what that means.
I think I am.
Smoot, the last time you tried to talk to someone, they ran out into the middle of a parade of Toda.
Cerulean poops again on the floor.
I think he's having. I think he has an upset stomach. I think I'm just going to leave and I'm going to let you discuss it, and I'm just going to be outside.
Please clean that up before you go.
I just leave.
I will take care of it.
Kelsey looks over at Alan and she does say, I understand what you're saying. I think our main problem, though, is getting it out of town in the daytime without it being seen.
I mean, how far is it from here to the edge of town?
It's a good walk, and if we have to carry something that big.
I mean,
We got it in town with no problem. Why's the stress?
aren't we towards the outside of town? Can't we just go straight out the backyard into the less populated area?
I don't know if you remember this, but were there not Red Guard patrols around the village?
I thought there were a few Red Guard in town. Since when are they like in full force in the village? Isn't that kind of like mega sketch?
Alan, where exactly have you been living for the past week?
I understand. I was under the impression that they were in town, and that was a problem. Not that they were in town, all over town, running the town.
Again, where have you been living for the past week?
The Red Guard? They don't run the town. Topty runs the town, and the other elders. But there's just a lot of them around. I see the gears turning in his head. There's steam.
It is a shame that guns are not commonplace anymore.
If they were, the Red Guard would probably have them.
I'm suggesting we have what seems to be overreaching government.
Guns. The Red Guard have guns. That's what they were carrying with them. They have guns, they have spears, they have swords, they have bows, they have arrows. They have a lot of weapons.
But
They're well equipped.
Do they have guns like this?
What's that old piece of hunk of metal?
Do we have better, newer guns?
I say quietly, I wonder if they have healthcare. My home of treasure.
So she just looks at it.
I mean...
What do guns look like nowadays?
Like that, but cooler.
Interesting. I was under the impression that manufacturing was not as prevalent.
I mean,
for the record,
not here, obviously.
Well, we're in the boonies. No offense, Ashby, I love you.
We're gonna miss Ashby.
You're gonna miss it so
We're
hard.
gonna miss Ashby.
This was the easy level. Now we're gonna take it to the hardcore.
That was in the south. That's why we're going to the north.
I wanted hardcore.
We're going to medium core.
David, any ideas on how we could disguise this thing? What do you have?
Why don't we just put it back in a bag? Walk it down there like nobody cares, and then we'll be good. The more suspicious you look, the more likely you will attract the attention of the Red Guard.
Why don't we just make it look like a bedroll and put it on someone's back?
I mean, that could work.
Didn't we do that last time?
Yeah, we just do that again.
Or we could just get a bigger bag, stuff it in there, heave it down there, and then we're done. I like it.
Okay.
Simple.
Do we have a bigger bag here, or should I go get one?
Don't you own one?
I mean, I have cloth. We could make a large bag.
Don't you own a giant backpack of wares?
All of the
Is
eyes.
Finavir gonna leave the rest of his stuff here?
Are you insisting I use my prized backpack for the carrying of such a creature?
Everyone's eyes just shift towards Finavir. Amali gives you that knowing look. Kelsey gives you a knowing look. Cece gives you a knowing look. For some reason, she has no idea what's going on. And David.
A merchant's backpack is sacred.
It is carrying a ware.
This is the greatest ware you could ever carry.
So this is quite possibly the rarest
Ware.
commodity that you have carried in that bag.
Gears are ticking in his head. All right. But I request that it be walked more or less pooped before it goes into the bag.
I mean, it's going to be wrapped in blankets either way.
I don't. I put food in this bag. It is the most sacred thing I own besides my armor.
I'll buy you another bag if it goes south. Or it comes out south.
We will use my prized backpack, and Taylor will carry it for us.
Oh, look at that. Taylor carrying a baby again.
If it bites me, it may not make it on this journey.
If it bites you, you may not make it on this journey.
Hey, you can wheel me around in a cart. We can put it behind the new elk.
You'll be needed to be wheeled around in a cart after what he's done with you if you hurt the Toda.
Do we really want to keep wheeling him around? If he gets bit again, we might as well just leave him here.
Honestly,
Anyway,
I thought it was hilarious, so maybe.
let's get
All
this all done.
All right, I'll unpack my goods. I carefully unpack my goods and organize them into cloth sacks that I tie up and then haul on my back uncomfortably.
Okay.
If you leave me here to fend for myself in this unknown, godforsaken world, I will hunt you with vengeance.
I give him about 2 weeks before he forgets what's going on.
And mind you, I used to hunt for food every hunting season.
All right, cool. I'll travel with the caravan. We'll see how far you get on foot compared to the caravan.
We have a plan. Team Finn, go!
Smoot, not outside question this.
Okay. Amali doesn't give you the team Finn go.
No.
He just shakes his head and walks away. After some finagling, Amali and Alan managed to get the baby Toda into the bag. Nobody gets bit this time. It seems pretty calm. It's actually swimming around in the water, playing. It actually spits water at Alan. It coos at you a little bit, and then you shove it back into the bag. It struggles a little bit, but after some time, it seems to settle down and almost like it's falling asleep. And it makes like little sounds. So, y'all head on over to Madame Peple's. I know what I said.
Elkintoe.
Elkintoe.
Can we open up a tavern called the Elkintoe?
Sure.
I don't know
Yeah.
why I just think that phrase got me.
I would love to open up a tavern, hire adventurers. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's not elk in tow, it's elkin toe.
Yeah.
But still TOW.
Yeah.
So it's
100%.
We need to get a cart and like make it into a taco stand or something.
Totally.
So, as you guys are heading down the path, you have your bags all packed. Cece's got like a stack of unruly clothes sticking out of her bag, and Kelsey's trying to help her shove it back into the bag, and everyone's just making their way down the path. All of you make a perception check. Yes.
I would be insistent on CC hiding her face.
Okay.
I'll get them all involved. I'll push every advantage if I need to. If there's no resistance, then there's no resistance. But I more or less don't want the Red Guard to know that she's leaving. At least not knowing right now, if I can avoid it.
Okay. So, after some bickering, Amali just says, Cece, just put on the mask, and so she does.
That's right. She has a new mask.
She got a mask back.
The mask back?
A mask.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a difference.
No, you know what? She probably got the mask back.
And the flute? Oh man, David's been training her well.
Yeah, she made a good trade.
Man, she's a better merchant than I am.
So, she has the mask on, but you can tell she's upset about it because she's like stomping her feet as she makes her way down the path. All of you make your perceptions, please.
Smoot has a 19.
Finn has a 13.
A 20 for Taylor.
9.
Okay. Finavir is very focused on making sure that Cece has the mask on and it stays on. Your eyes are focused very much on her. Alfred, you are hearing the conversations as you go down the path, feeling just kind of la-di-da about everything. It's a nice day. You guys are probably leaving. It's a little sad, but whatever. For you are Alfred Kenneth Mest, and you don't give a rat's butt about anything else but the fact that you have drugs in your pocket. You do have drugs in your pocket, though. I mean, like, these are all true facts. These are true statements. So,
True facts about Alfred Kenneth Mest. He has drugs.
Alan and Smoot, you notice as you're coming down and you enter into the village that there seems to be someone who appears to be a red guard off to the side, that when he sees you and you make eye contact, he somewhat stops and just seems to be watching you as you walk by. And as you walk past him, he turns around from where he's from and heads back the other direction, somewhat in a hurry.
We should probably quicken our pace. It seems like we may have gotten the attention of the Red Guard.
Well, that didn't last real long.
You guys quicken your pace?
To be fair, we weren't exactly being discreet or going out of our way to avoid them.
Yes. Smoot would start to do like a half jog, kind of like a power walk.
I match Amali's speed.
Amale is picking up his pace, but he's trying to still remain what appears to be have a calm visage about him. So, you guys do make it to the caravan, which is right near the tavern. And it appears the tavern's starting to set up for the evening, while the caravan is actually almost done preparation to leave. You actually see Madame Popeye at the head of it. She's directing the larger black wagon, the very, very large bull-like creatures at the front. Please, no, that is perfect. I love it. Great. And she sees you approaching. She waves you on over. I see you have brought your friends, and are you prepared to go places?
Yes, we are. We would very much like to take you up on your offer and join with you on your route from here to Land's Respite.
Very well. If you wish to come with us, you must make sure that you have the coin to pay. This would only cover for your room, not for your board. Meaning, your food must be provided by yourselves.
I don't think that would be a problem. Not to mention, I don't think that you'd have any issue with us, more or less, bartering with those who are selling food along the way.
There's no problem with that. That is perfectly allowed.
All right, then. So it is 10 silver per person.
Yes?
Who doesn't carry their weight. Is that required up front or afterwards, depending on their worth?
It is up front.
It is up front. All right. And for people who, does that get like reimbursed if you do help or whatnot? How does that work?
No, if you are hired to work for the Caravan, then you work for the Caravan. And if you do not, well, we shall see how that pans out. You may not be able to ride with us any longer.
All right. My American sense is tingling. Okay, so 80 silver it is.
Very well.
I go back and we got to, I will give her the 80 silver out of my pocket and I will get my worthwhile back from everyone else.
Okay, all right. She receives it and she closes her fingers around it slowly with a big smile spreading across her face. Wonderful. It is great to have you. Now, please, at the back of the wagon you will find a place for yourselves to stay. It is only one wagon, but it will have to do. There is enough space for all of you.
All right, that's very generous. Thank you so much.
Please make sure that you sign up. Give this coin to Nikolai in the back. And
Will
sign
do.
up. Your names must be documented for our purposes.
All right, we can do that. All right, so I'll motion for everyone to come along to the back.
Okay. So, you guys go towards the back of the caravan, and it seems like they're starting to draw the wagons up and around as if they are getting ready to head out.
Then, didn't we want to sell our wares?
I'd say we might want to wait to do that.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, we might want to wait.
She is a little busy right now. It would be kind of rude. Not to mention, you'd probably get a better price if she's, in a better way.
I suppose, but at the same time, I don't know how long this thing's gonna keep quiet. And the sooner it is not our problem, the better. Especially with the way the Red Guard were lurking around.
Yeah, no, that's concerning.
Well, then how about we get ourselves settled in and tucked up in a wagon?
I agree with him. Again, this is a very rare occurrence.
Today must be a great day. All right, everyone. Let's find our seats, and I find Nikolai.
Okay. You do find him. He's in the back, and he appears to be loading up some other passengers in another wagon. Just some other folks that you did notice were just wandering around in the caravan earlier. And in the previous night, you see some people with the Seeker emblems also loading up into the carriage that is in front of yours, or wagon that's in front of yours.
Oh, do they, proudly wear the badges and whatnot?
Yeah, these guys are wearing them.
Cool. Respect. Just, do I see any that are particularly, high rank or strong?
Sure, you can make a perception check.
Perception of 15 for Finn.
You notice that there appears to be 2 steel tiered Seekers as well as 1 bronze.
All right. Cool. All right, so I've tried to find this Nikolai guy.
Okay, yeah, you find him. He's in the back, like I said. He is directing those other people to get into the wagon.
All right, I'll wait for an appropriate time and get his attention.
Okay, you do, and he sees you. He receives the coin, and he directs you into the backmost wagon, which he opens up. You see, actually, no, all of you make a perception check.
How dare you ask for such a thing?
Very convenient to be the last wagon. I do like
18
that.
for Taylor, 19 for Smoot.
20 for Finavir.
9.
Man, your dice do not like you today.
I think for the past 3 checks, I've rolled 1s.
Take one of mine. Make sure
I
to
have
make
another one here.
make sure to move yours away so their curses don't spread.
Yeah, that is a thing. You guys see that as you enter into the wagon, you are sharing the space with another group of people. There's probably about 3 of them. Just some average villager-looking type of individuals wearing very poor garb. But you see that there are beds, like bunk beds, up layered on the side. They are stacked in tiers of 4 on either side of the wagon. There appears to be 2 rows of these 4 on either side. And there's a bunch of boxes in between dividing up vision from that area. There is a lantern hanging from the ceiling, like a oil-wicked lantern.
Are you saying we have our own room?
No, I'm saying it's an open floor. There are literally lined pathways, and on either side there's 2 rows. So there's 2 rows on either side of the wagon.
Of seats.
No, beds.
Of beds.
Yes.
It's a very big wagon. Just like a wagon about the size of a tractor trailer, but shorter.
Yeah.
Like a mobile.
They're very sturdy. These are very wide and sturdy wagons being pulled by very large bull-type creatures.
It's a very large mobile home, except it's Amish style instead of like diesel.
I want to see if we can, like, there's very few people here and lots of space. Can we claim, like, the back corner? Or are there people already in the back?
There are people that have already claimed the back corner. You are towards the exit of the wagon.
Okay. Can we claim the front? There's only 3 people. How many?
They've claimed, like, their section. So it's not like... So they've claimed, like, the first 2 beds on both sides, and then one person is above on the left side. So what's towards the front of the wagon, like, towards the... like entrance exit is what's like completely open where there's nobody there.
Okay, then we take that.
How many beds are there in total?
Hey, we don't need to know that.
So it's 8 on one side, 8 on the other side.
Dope.
It fits 16 people, or sleeps 16. It probably has about maybe 15 feet across.
All right, and we're right by the door. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to suddenly have me and Amali take the front? Like the closest ones to the door. I just don't want Kelsey next to the door.
Okay.
If someone's kidnapping her, I want someone to get past us first.
No, they're just going to kidnap Finavir.
It's up to you. You guys can position yourselves wherever you want.
So, me and Amali in the front. Are they all bunk beds?
Yeah.
Smoot would also try and be near the front to keep the elk near the outside.
Okay.
You're stopped
So-
from bringing the elk in.
What? No.
Nikolai tells you it has to be trailed outside.
Just tie the reins down to the back of the wagon.
Mm-hmm. How fast do these things move?
It's a caravan wagon.
At caravan
It's-
speeds.
What is caravan
Slow.
You're slow, then I'll walk behind with you.
It's a walking pace for these animals.
the opposite of Godspeed.
Satan speed.
I'm keeping an
Otherwise
eye on
known as slow as hell.
Okay.
it. I would sit near the exit and have the elk tied to the back.
Okay. All right. So you keep the door open as you're riding along.
And I'm just constantly watching and making sure it's fine.
There are no windows inside. It's pretty much closed off.
I love that.
The only way that you can see is up front that there seems to be like a door that opens up to where the drivers sit.
I'm gonna sleep so great.
You guys finally, after another maybe 20 minutes and hearing some strange, like not a scuffle, but an argument happening and outside, Smoot, you can actually make a perception check since you're sitting outside of the door or sitting on the porch deck thing.
Yeah. 18.
You notice that Hoplai seems to be arguing with one of the Red Guard, and they're trying to approach through the wagons, but she is essentially stopping them from getting any closer, and she's telling them that they're leaving and that they cannot stop her caravan because she has all of the authority that she needs to leave. Yeah, this argument goes on for a while. That's why you haven't left yet. But
Smooth's just laughing the entire time to himself.
What you sniggering at, Smoot?
Nothing. I just like seeing people stick to authority, especially when they're attempting to abuse their power. That's all.
Poplai continues the argument with the guard, and actually several of the other caravan workers approach as well and are arguing with the guard. More guards come up and they actually start to push away some of the caravan workers, and they start marching their way through and going into different wagons and checking them. And just as they are about to get to the back wagon, Smoot, what do you do?
Hopefully it doesn't come to this, but everybody, I would grab whatever you're comfortable with, and the Red Guard, maybe poking their heads in here in just a moment. Hide the Toda.
It's in the bag.
Make sure it stays quiet and the bag isn't visible.
Okay.
I will
Smoot has his hand on a knife.
I will put the bag between 2 of the beds, like 2 of the bed stacks, and then sit in front of the bed stack, sharpening my spear.
Smoot has his hand on his hunting knife.
Quickly go over to Molly. Do you think they could be looking for CC? If so, we can hide under a bed and put my wares in front.
I don't know what they're looking for, but if they are looking for Cece, we're in a lot of trouble.
Just keep her near the back. It sounds like Poplai doesn't like them being here anyways, so she'll get them to go away.
So, Amali agrees with Finavir, and you attempt to actually hide her under one of the beds. The lowest bed is the only one that you could hide her under since there's a little bit of space there. It's kind of difficult and it's a tight fit, and she protests only but for a moment, and you guys get her under the bed. And Smoot, do you stick your head back out or you just stay inside?
He would just stay inside, trying not to draw any attention to the caravan.
I grab a handful of my wares and wait.
Okay.
Smoot is admiring his knife as it is currently out of its sheath and in his hand.
You see one of the red guards start walking up the back staircase and entering through the open door. He takes a moment and he turns to the side and looks at the elk, and then he enters in. And as he walks in, he has his helmet down and he's actually carrying what looks to be some sort of strange gun at his side.
I'd like to be the first person he talks to, greets.
He walks in, but as soon as he does, he stands to the side. And with every slow step, you see the visage of Captain Wernsberg appear and enter into the cabin. Well, where are we all going in such a great hurry?
Oh, we're in a hurry because the caravan's leaving.
Yeah, this was our last day. Are you going to be joining the caravan?
He laughs. No, I will not be joining with the caravan. I'm simply checking on some matters, documenting who is leaving the village per the requirements of our king.
Well, wouldn't the easiest thing just to be to check up with Nikolai?
Yes, but there are issues where people are saying who they are, but they're not actually who they say they are.
Scandalous.
Exactly. So, please.
I count nicknames, because I had a nickname in Taba. It wasn't a very good one.
I see that there are 7 of you, but where is the ace?
No, there's more than that. There's a 7 of us. There's a 3 in the back. And there are you 2.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's 12 right there.
He shakes his head. This would be very easy if you would just be straightforward.
Well, that goes both ways.
He raises an eyebrow at you as his hands are behind his back. I do not understand what you mean in that way. I have been very upfront. I am only asking where the 8th one is.
Who's the 8th one?
There is a girl that was with your party. She was seen wearing a mask.
I mean,
So,
we've got Kelsey here.
for your sake, I ask you to be honest with me. If you cannot be, we will turn this caravan upside down.
I sense motive of Molly.
Wasn't there jurisdiction here questionable at best?
Very. Sense motive on Amali for 18 to see what he is looking like currently. Does he look like he is about to punchy punch?
He appears to be keeping his calm. He's just sitting on the bed where CC is underneath, and he is whittling on a piece of wood, not really looking up.
Mr. Warrensburg. Sorry, Varnsburg.
That is Captain Varnsburg.
I couldn't rightly remember your rank, so I was using the best honorific I could, sir.
You'd be best to remember it.
I apologize, I'm rather new around these parts, but is Ashby a Tajin settlement?
It is in the process of being obtained.
So
However,
but is it obtained?
we are here of another concern and matter.
Okay,
One
but
of kidnapping.
regardless of concern, if you're not in your own country, do you have the authority to overturn the caravan of indigenous people?
Taylor.
I'm just saying, it would be a mess of paperwork if they got into an incident and then people started filing suit.
He nods his head over towards the one guard who approaches you. Restrain him.
I'm only talking.
You talk a little too much. I'm here out of the concern and for the well-being of this girl. You were out of town for a very long time, and if you are truly her guardians, this would not be a problem.
I just don't know what the problem is exactly. What are you referring to, kidnapping? Anyone who's with us is with us willingly.
He sighs.
That is unless you're implying that you're the one who's doing the kidnapping. Sir, Captain.
Roll a diplomacy on that.
It's 16.
He lowers his head and like as if it's just a look of defeat, as if he's not getting where he needs to be or wants to be. And he looks up. I am simply trying to help you. There are people in this world that you cannot trust. Please understand. I am only doing this to keep her safe.
Sense motive.
Sure. Go ahead and roll that
sense.
sense.
Is the only thing that a player could or should be saying to that. 12.
I'm gonna check that too.
Sure.
10.
That's a 23 cents motive on Smoot.
Finevere and Alan, you feel that he is being forthcoming. He feels that he is doing this out of necessity to keep her safe, and he's doing it for her. And Smoot, you feel that there's some truth to it and also some hesitation. Maybe just a slight hint of doubt.
I mean, you're calling our relation into question. What's your relation?
He sighs. My relation to the girl is simply that I am the captain who is responsible for her health and well-being after a situation that occurred in the village. And you abandoned her.
What situation happened while we were gone? No one's told us anything.
The Toto
He's
attack.
referring to the incident in the town square.
Well, isn't that his person's fault, not ours? So what does that have to do with kidnapping?
When you left town, you relinquished your governorship of her
Not in the
for that
slightest.
period of time.
Not really. David was here with her the entire time.
We left one of our own with her.
David's face gets a little sweaty.
You were with her the entire time, right?
Most of the time?
Well, that's good enough. People gotta sleep, they gotta eat, they gotta go to the bathroom.
But you were the one who said that you were her guardians, and the ones who claimed to be her guardians were not in town.
Question. Do you have any kids, Warrensburg? And would you claim to be their guardian, but you're not with them?
He doesn't answer your question.
It's just you seemed a little hesitant when you were mentioning that you were doing this for Cece's welfare.
Cece. He pauses. I have helped her more than you could know. Very well. If this is how you want to do this, then so be it. And he turns around, like turncoat tail, like walks out, followed by the guard who lifts up his hood on his helmet. And all of you can roll a perception check really quick.
It's a 22 for Smoot.
It's a 3.
It's a 3.
A 21 for Finn.
9.
Alan is still looking at Warrensburg coattails.
They're
with-
really fascinating.
With even more distrust. Specifically for the coattails.
But those coattails look really nice. They're nice cut, like good frame.
They're a
Like,
little too nice. It's kind of sus.
It's a little sus. Yeah, and that's about pretty much. So what would it, since that wouldn't pass the DC, what would your character be doing? Mest. What would he do that he would not notice something like that?
Let's see. I would probably have pulled out a few of my vials of the potions that I've brewed lately, and I'm just like swirling them and inspecting them.
Yeah, looking a little inconspicuous. Don't mind me. So you, Finavir and Smoot, you notice that Amale seems to tense up a little bit when the guard lifts his hood. And looking back over to him, you see a strange appearance under the hood. Somehow this man's face, while very human still, reminds you somewhat of a rat. Long features and a very pointed nose, narrow eyes. He smiles as he turns and leaves.
Would I have ever even heard of such a happening?
He looks human. It just looks like his features are very shifty.
Okay. Is this something that would take my character aback, is what I'm saying? I've heard many stories and many tales.
A
And seen
little
many
bit of a
people, but
surprise.
a little bit of a surprise.
A little
okay.
bit of a surprise. All right. So, as he leaves, Amale just looks over, close the door.
Smoot would, without any hesitation.
I will be listening for, if there's an attack order, I want to hear it.
You don't hear an attack order. You hear actually Poplai's voice outside. She seems to be arguing with Warrensburg directly. And then after a few more moments, you feel the wagon lurch and you all start to leave Ashby. But you aren't stopped. There's no sounds of combat, just the sound of the large wheels outside turning and grinding against the dirt path. And you leave Ashby, heading towards Newern first, and finally towards Lamb's Respite. And that is where we're going to end off this week's episode of The Gate Chronicles. Tension. Tensions are high. How do y'all feel? How are your emotions? Tense?
Oh, yes, definitely tense.
We're fine.
I had my initiative possible action preset. I really did not want to get into combat, but I also know the consequences of not getting to combat were very risky as well.
Yeah, stuff happens. Well,
Alan is full of distrust, suspicion, and readily available malice.
all right.
Hopefully with this interaction, we'll be able to get a few more answers from Amali regarding Cece's backstory.
Maybe. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Gate Chronicles. And did you know that, guys, we have an affiliate with Dice Envy. And if you want to get some really, really cool dice, if you want to get some really nice dice sets, they actually have a monthly subscription that you can sign up for. And, there's some really, you can get wood dice, metal dice. There's a really nice just variety you can get. So consider signing up with them by following our referral link in the description below. Because if you follow that link, we'll get a small part of that commission, and that will actually help out the podcast a lot, such as with hosting fees, getting character art commissioned, as well as, upgrading equipment and maintaining equipment. So guys, if you want to do that, please consider it. We would really appreciate it. And you know what? All right, guys. And also, in addition to that, make sure you follow us on our social media accounts at Roll Found on Instagram and Twitter, and Missing Role Player Found on Facebook. That's where we do a lot of our updates for the podcast, when we're going to be taking breaks and all that kind of stuff. And on top of that, please make sure that you subscribe, and share the podcast with your friends, because the more people that listen to us, the more we grow, and the more we grow, the better we'll do, and the more we'll love you. Beside that point, we still love you, foundlings. We love you that much. And also, if you want to support us in other ways, please consider leaving us a review for the podcast, or even going to our Patreon and donating to us monthly, where you can get access to early releases of episodes, as well as things like GM notes, GM made maps, and a variety of other things. So yeah. And last but not least, make sure you join us on our Discord, where we chat, we talk about the show, we play games, and yeah, sometimes we'll even have people end up getting characters made for NPCs in game, especially when we don't, have enough made up. Yeah. So make sure you pop in. That link is in the description below as well. And all right, guys, I think that's it from me. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.